Have you or a loved one ever been affected by CCIV? If so, you may be entitled to compensation. That's what's going on right now with CCIV. All of the lawsuits going on. There are multiple articles of multiple law firms filing class action lawsuits against CCIV, and we're going to go into detail about that here in this video. And we're also going to talk a little bit of an update with NIO as well. So stay tuned for the end of the video for that. But without further ado, man, let's give it some razzle dazzle and hop into it. Also, if you're not subbed to the channel, hit that sub button and look at this. Look at this picture right here. Tell me this is not cute. Look at this. It is Stock Baby's first birthday. So do him a favor and hit the like button. I told him, I said, we get him the fan would show up, the stock fan would show up and give him 200 likes. Let's give him 200 likes on this video. You know what to do. But let's go ahead and hop into the news. So there are multiple class action lawsuits against CCIV, basically from the run-up that happened over, back earlier in this year. Because, this thing ran up from $10, $12 all the way up to, what was it, like $65 within weeks. And then all of a sudden it crashed, and there are reasons for it. So let's go ahead and look at this Yahoo article and we'll talk about it. So looking at the article, basically this is one of many law firms that are opening up class action lawsuits against CCIV for basically what happened on that run up. So the allegations against CCIV include that the company made materially false, I think I'm saying that right, false and or misleading statements and or failed to disclose that Lucid was not prepared to deliver by the spring of 2021. 2, Lucid was projecting a production of 557 vehicles in 2021 instead of 6,000 vehicles, which they claimed that's what they were going to do, going up to the merger. And it even says run up to the merger. And 3, as a result of the foregoing, basically they're saying that their clients had lost a boatload of money and that it brought pain and suffering to them, which I would understand. I would understand that. But this one, for this attorney, they were saying that I think it was either this one or another one, $250,000 or more. So if you lost $250,000 or more, you can't go complain to them because you lost $1,000 in CCIV. That ain't good. They're just going to probably hang up the phone. But right. With there being multiple class action lawsuits, I think this is where CCIV needs to step up. And I don't even know if they've really come out and publicly addressed this at all. Or if anything will really even come out of this. But this does not look good on the company, because I specifically remember them saying that they were pushing around 6,000 vehicles this year. And sure and behold, they're only doing about 500 to 600. So we'll see if that holds true to that as well. Which I don't know if these lawsuits are the reason the stock was down today. If we look at the stock on the day, we can see that it was down 2% on the day. These lawsuits have been coming out over the last couple days. So, there's one of two options here. So the stock ran up, I think, because a lot of shorts going on. Wall Street Bets got a hold of it, caused it to run up. So this could be the pullback from that run up, or this could be the pullback from those class action lawsuits. So
I think it's the pullback from the run up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a couple lawsuits, depending on how big these get, depending on how big these lawsuits get, could really determine really what the stock is going to do the next couple days. But like you said, I kind of think this could be that pullback, because they really don't have any delivery. They have no deliveries right now. That's all coming towards the end of the year. We talked about that in our first video today, or yesterday, I believe it was. So right now we're sitting about 0.5% after hours right now. But again, that's going to change all by the time the morning gets here. So I'm not too concerned about that. And yeah, man, hopefully things start to turn around for CCIV and they start to really look up, because we need it, because we're still stuck in this $18 to $25 support and resistance range. And we've been there for quite some time, since maybe mid to late March. So
yeah, it's been just kind of hanging out. I think it got all the way down to the higher teens as well, which is a great time to buy, in my opinion. But yeah, the whole thing with the lawsuit is they think people were leading investors on, saying they're going to do all these things when they knew they probably weren't going to. So yeah, I've gotten things in the mail actually for other stocks like Snapchat and I think Hertz and some other random stocks. I mean, I look at it two ways. Like, yeah, they did kind of screw investors, but also this happens all the time. Lawyers the people that got affected don't really get much money from this. It's the lawyers that make millions out of these things. Yeah. So it's really just the lawyers trying to take advantage. But yeah, I mean, obviously they were in the wrong as well. But yeah,
and I think
this is going to hurt.
I think the point is basically like, hey, we're going to show this company, like, you can't, like, it's going back and forth. Like, you can't do this to your investors. You can't tell them, hey, I'm putting this, and this out. And then everyone buys it up because it sounds really good. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, nah, we might have lied there just a little bit. We're only going to do about 600 instead of 6,000. Bro, you're missing a whole zero. You're missing a whole zero.
Right.
Like, that is a huge night and day difference. And
that's definitely an issue.
And with that leading up, and this is where we saw that tank off. This is when they announced all of that information is when we saw this fall all the way back down to 20. So for those that are that are holding the bag, I'm still holding the bag a little bit here on CCIV. I still have hope that this is going to be coming up. Their numbers and projections for the next few years are looking great. So we'll hold them to it, and we'll see if it holds. It's either going to work or it's not. So
yeah, and I think long term it'll be great. It's just short term it's gonna be a slow start. I think next few months are going to be kind of slow, but I think once they do deliveries and everything, the company I think itself is going to do great things. It's just gotta get past this, the struggle of the start, which I mean pretty much all companies go through this. When you first start out, it's a struggle. It's not easy, that's for sure.
Exactly. But good news on the day, there was one stock that was not down today, and that was the complete opposite, and that was NIO. NIO is absolutely fantastic. I freaking love it, dude. If you guys don't love it, you guys keep on. I
don't know what you're doing if you don't love it, but
up almost 5.5%, 5.2% on the day, pushing that $38 mark, which I'm telling you, man, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but toot, man, we're trying to get that $48 mark by the end of this week. We'll see if tomorrow pushes us up there. Looks like we're sitting even right now after hours, so we'll see what happens pre-market.
But can you call it twice in a row, 2 weeks in a row? We will see.
Probably not.
I mean, we'll see. We're pretty darn close. I pretty much call that a win. But all the EVs were up, or not all the EVs, all the Chinese EVs were up really good. Like Li was up 10% almost. Xpeng was up like 8%. But yeah, I was expecting, like I said in the first video, usually when it's up really good like this, I kind of expect it to sell half of the gains. Right. But I mean, it pretty much finished at pretty much the peak for the day, which is awesome. But some little nugget of information that we got for NIO today is that their first second-gen battery swap station in the highway service area it's along the Loyang, I forget exactly how you say that. It came online, in that service area, which, as you know, it's along like China's G30 highway. It's the G30. Well, it's expressway. It's one of the main east and west highway networks in China. The total length is 4,000 and almost 400 kilometers long, which makes it the longest expressway in China. The thing is massive. But it's also, we talked about this before, the site is near popular tourist attractions and is one of the most popular places for Chinese residents to go for vacation. So we talked about this before. They're trying to add all these charging stations along this highway because it's such a huge, destination. Even for the Chinese residents themselves, let alone people like me and you going to China to go see these tourist attractions. Right. So it's obviously a good thing if you have a bunch of charging stations along that road, especially because it's the longest expressway in China. Right. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the big news out of that whole article is the fact that they're opening more charging stations and a second gen, further expanding their empire. And I think it's going to be a great thing when they get into Europe. And I think we're going to hopefully see them here in the States in the next couple year or two. So we'll see what happens when NIO Day rolls around. Hopefully they make some kind of announcement. You never know.
That would be awesome.
No. Right.
I mean, with how fast they're moving, I mean, I kind of half expect them to be into the U.S. at some point next year. Sounds kind of ridiculous, but I mean, they've been moving.
They're killing
real quick. Yeah. So as of June 17th, NIO has 260 battery swap stations, 182 supercharging stations, and 367 destination charging stations. And also, you have access to more than like 380,000 third-party charging stations in China, because China themselves are building up these things like crazy. But also, just kind of a cool little thing talking about all that stuff. I saw a YouTube video, I don't know, it was a week or two ago, of this guy that was he was in Mongolia, actually, going to a bunch of tourist destinations and stuff. And he was in a NIO. He didn't have, there's no charging stations or anything around. And he actually called the NIO mobile, the charging van. And he has a video of it all, so it's pretty cool. But they came to his car and, just plugged that sucker in. And in no time, he was good to go. Like, you can't do that like in any other, car. You'd have to get that sucker towed.
Right.
So, yeah,
that is high quality service. Well, that's going to wrap up this quick CCIV and NIO update. If you guys like this kind of content, hit that like, share, notification bell, all that good stuff, and even hit the sub button. It's the best way to support the channel. And let's give Stock Baby a fantastic birthday present. And let's get him, the 200 likes on this video. See what you can do. I know you guys can come through. But again, thank you guys so much for all your support. We got the links in the description for Weeble. We got one down there for the Stock Dudes merchandise, and we got one down there for the Patreon to get you access to the Discord. And again, if you guys made it this far in the video, just say, I'm the best. Just say, I'm the best in chat, and we're going to give you a little heart next to your comment. So again, thank you guys so much for all your support, and we'll see you guys in the next video.